वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणं तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे पुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीपः। प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावः दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तकः केशवः। आराशर्यवचः सरोजममलम् गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटम् नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधना बोधितम् लोके सज्जन षट्पदैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयात् भारत पंकजं कलिमलप्रध्वंसि न श्रेयसे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपात्तमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये Shloka number 39. We can read the Sangati Bhashya. Starting from the line, you can see in the screen, second line, Iha hi. You can repeat. Iha hi darshite punaha Shastra Vishaya Vibhage Uparishtat Nyayogena Sankhyanam Karma Yogena Yoginam Iti
Jnana-yogena karma-yogena yoginam
Nishtadvaya Vishayam Shastram
Nishtadvaya vishayam shastram
Sukham Pravartishyate
Sukham pravartishyate
Shrotarascha Vishayabhagena
Shrotarascha vishayabhagena
Sukham Grihishyanti Iti
Sukham grihishyanti iti
Ataha Aha
Ataha
Yesha Te Bhigita Sankhye
Yesha te vihita sankhe
Buddhir Yoge Tvimam Shrunu
Buddhir-yoge shrunu
Buddhya Yukto Yaya Partha
Buddhya-yukto-yaya partha
Karmabandham Prahasyasi
Karmabandham prahasyasi
Through the Sangati Bhashyam, Bhashyakara clearly presents the distinction, presents the difference between the topics discussed in this chapter. The topic of this chapter, as we saw from the 11th shloka to the 30th shloka, is Sankhya. Sankhya is not Darshana. Sankhya is Jnanam. The word Sankhya means number also, but here it is Sankyam means jnanam. Sankhya akaranta. Sankhya means jnanam. Sankyam. And Sankhya means Atma. Sankhya means Atma, or Sankhya can also mean the Viveka, the discriminative inquiry in understanding the Tattva, which is Atma. Sankhya and Sankyam is Nyayam, Nyaya Vishayam, which is Atma, which is a Tattva. So Sankyam means Nyayam, that which is to be known, which is to be understood, which is Paramatha Tattvam, which is Atma, the ultimate reality. Sankhya means Jnanam. Sankhya means Jnana Vishayam, that is Nyayam. Sankhya, Sankyam. Samyak Kyayate, Prakashyate, Vastutattvam, Anaya iti, Sankhya, Samyak Jnanam iti. So, from the first shloka up to from the 11th shloka up to the 30th shloka, in all these shlokas, the topic was Jnanam, was presented. And from the 31st shloka and the 38th shloka, there was instruction from the standpoint of Dharma and from the standpoint of the world to Arjuna. The Upadesha from the standpoint of Dharma, from the standpoint of the practice of the world that was given. That is not the main topic. The main topic was discussed from 11th to 30th shloka, which is Sankyam. That's why the chapter is called Sankhya Yoga. This chapter is called Sankhya Yoga. Yoga means the context, the chapter. So that is the central teaching of this chapter, central teaching of the Shastra. Now, through this shloka, Bhashyakara, he makes a distinction between the topic, what has been discussed, and the topic, what is going to be discussed. A clear distinction, vibhaga, is made. A clear distinction, the vibhaga, between the two vishayas, between the dvaya vishayam, two vishayas, it is presented. Like in the Vedas, the Veda is one whole, but it is looked upon as two Shastram, Veda Purva and Vedanta. So, the topic what was discussed from the 11th shloka to 30th shloka, that is the topic discussed in Vedanta, Upanishad. And Veda Purva, it helps in arriving at Vedanta. It helps in understanding what Vedanta teaches. So Veda Purva, it helps in cultivating the values, the attitudes. It helps in giving the preparedness to come to Vedanta, understand and assimilate it. That is the role of Veda Purva. Therefore, the whole Veda is looked upon as two Shastram, Shastra Dvayam. Why Shastra Dvayam? Because the subject matter is different. There is a vibhaga in terms of even the Anubandha Chatushtayam. The Anubandha Chatushtayam of Veda Purva is different from the Veda Anta. Since Anubandha Chatushtayam is different, the subject matter being different, and therefore the adhikaris are different, and therefore the prayojanams are different. Therefore, it is two Shastra, not one Shastra. That is why Athato Dharma Jigyasa, Athato Brahma Jigyasa. One is Dharma, other one is Brahma. Two different subject matter. Therefore, Shastra Dvayam, therefore Nishtha Dvayam. Therefore, Nishtha Dvayam, the committed lifestyle. Nishtha is, the best translation for the word Nishtha is the lifestyle, committed lifestyle. The committed lifestyle of the person pursuing this Veda Purva and Vedanta are different. The lifestyles are different. Nishtadvayam. Why? Because there is a vibhaga in terms of Vishaya. One deals with karma and karma yoga, another deals with jnana, jnana yoga. Karma yoga and jnana yoga. For karma yoga is for giving the preparedness to come to jnana yoga. Jnana yoga is Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. That is called Jnana Yoga. Vedanta Shravanam, Mananam, and Nididhyasanam. That particular lifestyle, exclusive lifestyle, devoting the total time for Vedanta Shravanam and understanding, assimilating, so that the Jnana Nishta take place, that gives moksha. So, for Jnana Nishta, you need a certain committed lifestyle. That is called Jnana Yoga, Sankhya Yoga. Here, Bhagavan Krishna uses the word Sankhya Yoga. So, Karma Yoga is for giving the preparedness, Jnana Yoga for giving the Jnana Nishta, the Jnanam, and Jnanena Mokshaha. This is a scheme. These are the steps involved. So, between Karma and the Jnanam, there is no direct connection. It has got indirect connection. Karma Yogena Jnana Yogyata Praptihi. Karma Yogena Jnana Yogyata Praptihi. You become a deserved person, deserved candidate, adhikari, for the pursuit of Jnanam, Jnana Yoga. Therefore, Karma Yoga. Karma Yogena Jnana Yoga. And by Jnana Yoga, you gain Jnanam. And the Jnanam is moksha. Jnanena samsara nivrittihi. Ajnana nivrittihi. Therefore, moksha. This is how it is. Therefore, for moksha, what is a direct karanam? Jnanam. Jnana, jnanena eva mokshaha. Jnanam is the sakshat karanam, direct karanam, not karma yoga. Karma yoga is a certain prescribed religious lifestyle by the Shastram, which gives the preparedness, the yogyata, which gives the preparedness, the yogyata for cultivating the sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. For sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, so that the person becomes sadhana chatushtaya sampannaha, is available for receiving the teaching, is available for Vedanta Shravanam, for listening, first listening, and then receiving, assimilating. Therefore, Karma Yoga is, as a sadhana, it is important for preparation. But it cannot give jnana. So therefore, Veda Purva, Vedanta, the clear distinction is there. So two different topics. That's why it is Shastra Dvayam. That Bhashyakara clearly shows here. The distinction has to be shown very clearly. Otherwise, it will result in a big confusion. As confusion happened to Arjuna also. In spite of showing the division, the confusion happened to Arjuna. The next chapter, first shloka itself, Arjuna will ask, you are teaching jnanam and you are asking me to do karma. Arjuna did not understand what Krishna meant. He clearly said, jnanena eva mokshaha, jnanam, only by jnanam, freedom is gained. But what about jnana yogyata? That is what Bhagavan Krishna tells, starting from this shloka onwards. He presents the topic of karma yoga. So, two different topics, which should be very clear. Not one topic, two different topics, and the topics are connected. Connected to the next topic. Karma yoga connected to the next topic. And not karma yoga connected to jnanam directly. No, there is no sakshat karanam for karma yoga to give moksha. Only jnana yoga. Why this is important is, otherwise, if this is not understood, Karma Yoga gives moksha. If we understand that, then Karmata will come, Purvapakshi, always waiting to establish is Siddhanta. His Siddhanta is Karmana Saha. Karma, Jnanam along with karma gives moksha. That is what he says. So you cannot give up karma. If you cannot give up karma, there is no sannyasa. Sannyasa ashrama itself will not be there. So karma, jnanam accompanied by karma alone gives moksha. That is what his argument is. And logically also we know the problem being samsara. And samsara due to ajnanam. For ajnanam to go, do we need karma? Karma cannot remove ajnanam. Only knowledge can remove ajnanam. The problem is ajnanam. And because of ajnanam only, bandha samsara. For bandha, the samsara to go, what do we need? Jnana. So therefore, where is the role of karma there? There is no role of karma for jnana directly. But as a preparedness for gaining jnanam, it is required. That people don't understand. That is why all yogas lead to moksha. Jnana yoga, bhakti yoga, karma yoga, and this Raja yoga, Kundalini yoga, so many yogas. So all yogas gives moksha. Iti one separate thinking is there. That's a problematic thinking. In some places you will find, even in Gita, it looks as though Bhagavan Krishna says by karma you get jnanam. But wherever it is there, we have to understand, not directly, indirectly. That Bhashyakara clearly mentions by the word sakshat. Sakshat karanam is jnanam. Paramparaya karanam is karma yoga. Iti very clearly says. And also, karma, that's the difference between karma and karma yoga. Three things are there: karma, karma yoga, and the jnana yoga. Karma is just the action, doing karma. Not following the values, not following the attitudes, or not doing the karma prescribed, just doing karma for sense pleasures. That's just karma. That karma will become karma yoga only when it is done with the sense of preparedness for jnana yoga. The karma will become karma yoga only when it is done with Ishvara Arpana Buddhi, Ishvara Arpana Buddhi. A mere karma will become karma yoga with a change in the attitude of doing the karma. Karma yoga is attitude. The attitude towards the karma. Doing karma, and whatever the result comes, that is Ishvara Prasada. And the karma is an offering to Ishvara. Doing karma, not violating dharma, doing karma for the sake of maintaining the harmony, the order of Ishvara, that is karma yoga. Therefore, attitude is involved. Values are involved. Not doing karma for the sake of one's own benefit and one's own pleasure at the cost of dharma. And also karma yoga means reaching out actions. Panchamaha yajna, nitya nimiti karma, all these karmas as prescribed by the Shastram, doing all those karma. For what? Not for karma's sake. For gaining jnana yogyata. Then the karma becomes karma yoga. So that is what the topic is. Karma yoga is the topic. So therefore here Bhashyakara makes the distinction very clear. Here he pradarshite, here it is shown clearly. Shastra Vishaya Vibhaga Punaha Shastra Vishaya Vibhage Uparishtat. So Darshite, it is shown. What is shown? Shastra Vishaya Vibhage Darshite Sati, to the subject matter of the Shastra. The Shastra being Gita. So Gita Shastram. The subject matter of Gita Shastram. What is the subject matter? Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga. Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga, these are the two subject matter, two different subject matter. Vibhage darshite, or distinctly presented sati. If the two subject matter are distinctly presented, then what is the benefit? Uparishtat. Uparishtat later. It is told by Bhagavan. Jnana yogena sankyanam, karma yogena yoginam iti. Sankyaha. Sankyaha means the follower of Jnana Yoga, the follower of Vedanta. Sankyaha. Jnana Yoginaha. The one who are committed to studying the Vedanta, Upanishad, Shastram. And Karma Yogena Yoginam. The persons who are following karma for Jnana Yogyata Prapti. They are yogis. They are called yogi. So Sankyaha, Yoginaha. So two different peoples are there, following two different lifestyles. They are not same. They are two different people. Because Nishtadvayam asti. Iti Nishtadvayam. Nishtadvaya, two types of committed lifestyle. So Nishtadvayam Sukham pravartishyate. So Shastra Vishaya Vibhage Darshite Punaha Uparishtat. If the Shastra Vishaya Vibhaga, the clear distinction between the Shastram, if it is presented, so that the advantage is, the benefit is, as told by Bhagavan, Jnana Yogena Sankyanam Karma Yoganam iti Nishtadvayam Sukhena Pravartishyate. It can be easily presented. If it is shown here, by Bhagavan has shown here, it is clearly mentioned the distinction. If it is, why it is shown here? So that the Nishtadvayam Shastram can be easily understood. Nishtadvayam Vishaya Shastram Sukhena Pravartishyate. It can be easily introduced. That is the intention of Bhagavan Krishna. Therefore, he shows this distinction. Therefore, the shloka is there. Therefore, this shloka is there, showing the distinction. And also, Shrotarascha Vishaya Vibhagena Sukham Grishanti. By showing the distinction, the listener also can easily pravartishyate, can easily understand, can easily follow. So, can easily Grishanti understand. So, there will be clear understanding on the part of the listener also if this Vishaya Vibhaga is presented and understood. That is why this shloka is. That is why this shloka is in between the two topics. Yesha te bhita sankye buddhir yogetu imam shrunu buddhya yukto yaya partha karma bandham prahasyasi. Yesha buddhihi. This buddhihi, this jnanam, abhita, it has been taught to you. It is taught to you. What jnanam? What jnanam? Sankhye. Sankhye, that jnaya vishaye, that which is to be known, that is Atma Jnanam, has been ukta, has been taught to you. Atma Jnanam has been taught to you. And this Atma Jnanam is the means for moksha, direct means for moksha. Then buddhihi yoge tu imam shrunu. Buddhihi yoge. Here yoge is karma. It is karma. Now you listen to yoge. With regard to yoge vishaye tu imam shrunu. You listen. So, very clear distinction. Sankhya has been taught. Now you listen to yoga. Jnanam has been given, taught. Now you listen to karma. Karma yoga. Karma yoga. Why I should listen to karma yoga? Karma yoga is a sadhanam for jnana yoga. From the standpoint of karma yoga is a sadhanam and jnana yoga is the sadhyam to be accomplished. Jnana yoga means jnana yoga, jnana yogyata. That is the sadhyam. Karma yoga is a sadhanam for jnana yogyata. And jnana yoga is a sadhanam for moksha. Iti, the sadhya sadhana sambandha is there between the topics. Between the topics, there is sadhya sadhana sambandha. Between jnana yoga and jnanam is sadhya sadhana sambandha. Jnana yoga is a sadhanam and sadhyam is moksha. Similarly, between karma yoga and jnana yoga, karma yoga is the sadhanam and the sadhyam is jnana yogyata prapti. So therefore, that sambandha is there. Because sambandha is there, therefore, two different subject matter. Therefore sambandha is there. That is a connection. That is why one is the sakshat karanam, other one is paramparaya karanam iti. So the distinction has to be very clearly understood. After teaching jnanam, why Bhagavan Krishna asked Arjuna to do karma? Because being a kshatriya and it is his dharma to fight, for that purpose only he came to Kurukshetra, and therefore Krishna also knows Arjuna has to get prepared. Even though jnanam has been given, but certain preparedness is required. Therefore, he orders Arjuna to do karma. What is that preparedness? Preparedness is gaining this sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. Why it is required? Because there are raga, dvesha. Raga, dvesha, all these are there. With raga, dvesha and with the unsettled mind being not there in the pursuit of Vedanta, how can jnanam take place? For jnanam to take place, you need to have a certain mental composure. Viveka must be there. Vairagya must be there. So our religious lifestyles, it prescribes certain karma in the form of nitya karma, like Sandhya Vandanadi karma or Naimitika karma, all those karma, and also the Panchamahayajna, all these are meant for gaining certain chitta shuddhi. In other words, we can present it as the neutralization of raga dvesha. Raga dvesha will not hold, will not play, will not hold us. Our action will not be decided by raga dvesha. Our action, our karma, what is to be done, if it is dharma, then our raga dvesha will not play any role in desiring to do the karma. There is no choice of doing or not doing. If it is dharma, it has to be done. So therefore, that mental composure, that the clarity, that adherence to dharma, not expecting, not having any axe to grind, not expecting the result. Not expecting the result means it doesn't have understanding that it doesn't have save over the result. Whatever comes as a result, he accepts that with that attitude. That attitude matters. That is why it is karma yoga. That attitude is required for understanding the Shastram, Vedanta. So that is why this topic is introduced. Now we will read the Bhashyam to this shloka. Yesha te iti.
Yesha te iti.
Yesha te tubhyam.
Yesha te tubhyam.
Abhihita.
Abhihita.
Ukta. Sankye paramartha vastu viveka vishaye.
Sankye paramartha vastu viveka vishaye. Buddhihi.
Jnanam. Sakshat shoka mohadi samsara hetu dosha nivritti karanam.
साक्षात्
साक्षात्
शोकमोहादि
संसारहेतु
संसारहेतुनिवृत्तिः कारणम्
एषा ते अभिगीता. Abhigita is ukta. Abhigita, ukta, taught. What? Sankhye. Paramartha vastu viveka vishaye. Paramartha vastu. Paramartha vastu is Brahma. Brahma vastu, Atma Jnanam. Jnanam. Paramartha is Brahma. And Paramartha vastu, the ultimate reality, which is Brahma. And then Jnanam is Atma Jnanam. Viveka. Paramartha vastu vishaya. Viveka is understanding clearly that Paramartha vastu, Brahma. So it is Jnanam. Brahma Jnanam, Atma Jnanam. With regard to that, that is why Vishaye is Paramartha vastu Viveka Vishaye. It is Vishaya Saptami. With regard to the Paramartha vastu Viveka Vishaya, Viveka is required for understanding, for gaining the understanding of Paramartha vastu. Why? Because there is a mix-up. Atma and Anatma mix-up is there. Therefore, Viveka is required. Viveka, discrimination or distinctive understanding between the Vastu and Avastu, Atma and Anatma. So, with regard to that, Vishaye, Buddhihi is the cognition, the Jnanam, the knowledge. Sakshat Shoka Mogari Samsara Hetu Dosha Nivritti Karanam. So, with regard to Sankhya is Paramartha Vastu Viveka Vishaye, the Jnanam has been taught. Jnanam, that is Buddhihi Abhigita. Buddhihi is Srilinga, therefore Abhigita. Jnanam is Abhigitam. Jnanam Abhigitam, Buddhihi Abhigita. Because it is a Nivritti Karanam. It is the Karanam for the removal of what? Dosha, the defects of samsara hetu, the cause of samsara. Samsara hetu nivritti karanam. And the samsara which is in the form of shoka and moha. Shoka moha is samsara. The whole first chapter talked about shoka moha. So shoka moha, samsara which is in the form of shoka moha, which is the cause, which is the defect, which is the cause. Shoka moha, samsara which is in the form of shoka moha, which are the defects, and for removing the defects, what is the karanam, sakshat karanam? This paramartha vastu vishaya jnanam, atma jnanam. So, therefore, nivrittika. What karanam is? What type of karanam? Sakshat karanam. It is direct. Sakshat nivritti karanam. Jnanam directly removes, and jnanam gives moksha. Iti. Then, the next line. Yoge tu tat prapti upaya vishaye
तत्प्राप्ति उपाय विषये
निस्संगतया
निस्संगतया
द्वंद्व प्रहाण पूर्वकम
द्वन्द्वप्रहाणपूर्वकम्
ईश्वर आराधनार्थे
ईश्वराराधनार्थे
कर्मयोगे कर्मानुष्ठाने
कर्मयोगे कर्मानुष्ठाने
समाधियोगे च
समाधियोगे च
इमाम अनंतरम अनंतरम एव उच्यमानां बुद्धिं शृणु शृणु listen buddhim shrinu, you listen to the buddhim, that is the teaching. Buddhim, jnanam, the knowledge, understanding, you listen. Yoge tu tat prapti upaye nissangataya dvandva prahana purvakam Ishvara Aradhanarte Karma Yoge. So yoge, with regard to yoga, and tat prapti upaya, the means, with regard to the means for attaining that yoga, with regard to the means for attaining that yoga, karmanushtane Ishvara Aradhanarte. Yogetu means is going to start yoga now. Karma yoga. So Sankhya is over, now yoga. So yogetu, that is the Vishaya, yoge Vishaye. So in gaining the knowledge of this yoga, Karma yoga, in gaining the knowledge, Karma yoge tat prapti upaya Vishaye, upaye, Nisangataya. The first one is Nisangataya. Sangha means attachment. Nisangataya means no attachment. Nisangataya, Tritiya Vibhakti. Nisangataya. Sangatvam or Sangata. The status of being connected, attached. That is called Sangatvam. Nisangatvam is Asangatvam. Asangatvam, not attached. Not attached to the karma and therefore the karma pala. So, karmanushtane, nisangataya karmanushtane. Dvandva prahana purvakam. Dvandva prahana purvakam is dvandva, the pairs of opposites. Prahana, removed or reduced. Purvakam, preceded. Having reduced or removed the pairs of opposites, that is ragadvesha, etc. The ragadvesha, these are the dvandvas. Nisangataya, without anchoring, longing for the karma and the karma pala. There is no obsession for the results of karma. Why? Because Ishvara Aradhanarte Karmanushtane. The karma is done for Ishvara Aradhana. Karma is, work is worship. Work is worship. The karma is done for the sake of worshipping the Lord. When you worship the Lord, it is the bhakti. Really, karma yoga is the bhakti yoga. You do in order to please Bhagavan. You do in keeping with the order of the Ishvara, keeping in with dharma, not violating dharma, not violating the order of Ishvara, doing what is to be done. That is the worship. That is the worship of the Lord. That is the aradhana. So Ishvara aradhanarte, for the sake of aradhana, worshipping the Lord. Oh, worship is done. Need not be literally sitting in the puja room and doing worship. What is to be done? To be done. Not violating dharma. Swadharma, paripalana dwara, doing one's swadharma. So that is the Ishvara Aradhana. And how it's to be done? This Sangataya. Not anchoring, not longing for the results. You have done your duty. The results, Bhagavan will take care. Bhagavan will give the results in keeping with so many factors. Every karma need not have the appropriate karma phala. It depends on so many factors. So that factors only Bhagavan, no, you don't have any say over it. Therefore, doing without any longing for the results. Longing for results. Longing for results means whatever may be the results, let it come, I will accept. That is that attitude. Not that doing karma without expecting result. Expectation will be there. Without expecting result, nobody will do karma. But the expectation will not take you for a ride. You know that it is Bhagavan gives you the result. And the result depends on so many factors. Over that, you don't have any say. So whatever Bhagavan gives, that you accept that. That is the non-expectation. Not expecting means that is a meaning. Not that you do karma and you don't expect anything. That is not the meaning. If you don't want the result of karma, then why do you do karma? Karma itself is not required. Any karma, for any karma, results are expected. But the expectation, it will not put you in any pressure. There is no pressure, inner pressure. You have space inside. Whatever comes, I've done my duty. Whatever comes, that I will accept as Ishvara Prasad. So everywhere Ishvara is there. When Ishvara is brought, that karma becomes karma yoga. So Ishvara Aradhanarte Karma Anushtane Nisangataya Dvandva Prahana Purvakam. All these are beautiful words. Having reduced the pairs of opposites, that is Ragadvesha, removing Ragadvesha, because the Ragadvesha matters when you do karma, and this Ragadvesha propels you to expect to propels you to do karma in a different way, so that what you want to accomplish through karma, whether it is through dharmically or adharmically, the Ragadvesha can make you do. Therefore, the Ragadvesha has to be neutralized. Therefore, Dvandva Prahana Purvakam, preceded by the Dvandva Prahana, removal of this Dvandva, the pairs of opposites, that is Ragadvesha, and doing karma with the attitude of worshipping Bhagavan without attachment, not clinging to the results of karma. That is the yoga. That is the yoga. Now you listen to that. The yoga, which is the means for gaining this knowledge. Tat prapti upaye. Yoge to tat prapti upaye. Tat can be, tat is refers to this jnana yoga, jnana yogyata, jnana yoga. Tat prapti upaye. Tat refers to the sankhya. So in gaining that, what is upaya? Yoga is the upaya. Tat prapti upaye. Hello, can you hear me? Hear me? Hello.
Yes.
Yes, Guruji.
Okay. So tat prapti upaye. Tat prapti upaya, tat refers to jnana prapti, jnana yoga prapti upaya. Upaya means. So jnana yogyata prapti, the means for gaining that. What is the means? Yoga. And that yoga, which is characterized by all this, you listen to that. Tat prapti upaya. The upaya is yoga. The yoga is karma yoga. With regard to that, and the yoga which is characterized by Nisangataya Dvandva Prahana Purvakam Ishvara Aradhanarte Karma Yoge, which is Karma Anushtane, and Samadhi Yoge, another word. Samadhi Yoga. What is Samadhi Yoga? Samadhi Yoga means Upasana. Samadhi Yoga means Upasana. Karma Yoge, Samadhi Yoge cha. Karma Yoga and Samadhi Yoga. This Veda Purva, which is Karma Kanda, we say Karma Kanda means which is Karma Kanda as well as Upasana Kanda. Two things are there. Karma and Upasana. Karma Kanda, Upasana Kanda, put together it is called Veda. It's called Veda Purva. Upasana, a lot of meditations are there. Meditations are prescribed mainly for the Vanaprasthas. 4 ashramas are there. So for the 3 ashrama, it is Veda Purva. And in the Vanaprastha, you don't do any physical karma, but you do Upasana. Upasana also is a karma. It is Saguna Brahma Manasa Vyapara. It is a meditation. So it is a karma. Upasana also is a karma. So Samadhi Yoga means Upasana Yoga. So it is a karma. Therefore, upasana, samadhi yoge. What is the use, what is the benefit of upasana? And what is the benefit of karma yoga? Karma yogena chitta shuddhihi. Karma yogena chitta shuddhihi. The purity of mind. Neutralization of raga dvesha. That is the benefit of karma yoga. And upasana yoga, it gives you chitta naischalya. The focus on the subject matter. That upasana yoga gives. Therefore, samadhi yoge. So these are the two topics discussed in the Veda Purva. So with regard to that, karma yoge, samadhi yoge, imam, this, anantaram eva uchyamanam buddhim shrinu. This, now, anantaram uchyamananam buddhim. Uchyamananam, going to be told. The buddhi, the knowledge which is going to be told, you listen. The knowledge which is going to be told, which is going to be imparted. Anantaram, hereafter. That is after the 39th shloka. After this shloka onwards, that is from the next shloka onwards, 40th shloka, this uchyamanam buddhim, the knowledge which is going to be told by me, you listen. Shrinu, listen. And that knowledge, that topic, that jnanam is a means for jnana yoga. Therefore, karma yoga is the topic. Iti Bhagavan says. Then, next line. The next line is important line. Tam buddhim
Tam buddhim
rochanartham.
Prarochanartham.
Tam buddhim. This tam buddhim is this buddhi, this knowledge, this understanding of this karma yoga, which is important. Why it is praised? Tam buddhim stauti. Tam buddhim stauti. The praising of this karma yoga is for prarochanartham. It is for the purpose of motivation. It is for the purpose of motivation. Now karma yoga is going to be praised. Why karma yoga is praised? Because for motivation, to motivate Arjuna to engage in the karma yoga, in karma, to fight in the battle. Therefore, prarochanartham, to create that enthusiasm to do. This is praised. Karma yoga is praised. And this praising of karma yoga, because of this praising of karma yoga, there is a confusion. If karma yoga is praised so much, then it should be the means for moksha. Karma yoga is another means for moksha. Jnana yoga is one, and karma yoga is another one, because Bhagavan Krishna praises. Therefore, karma yogena moksha iti. This conclusion is possible. It is there among some people. Therefore, Bhashyakara very clearly says, the praising of karma yoga, it is only for prarochanartham. The glorification of karma yoga is only for motivation. It is only for motivation. It is not for moksha. So, karma yoga jnanam, the knowledge with regard to karma yoga, that is karma yoga jnanam, tam, karma yoga buddhim or karma yoga jnanam, stauti, praised. So, the praise of karma yoga is only an arthavada. It is not the pramana vakyam. In Veda, you will find arthavada vakyas. Arthavada vakyas cannot be taken literally. It is arthavada means praising, glorification. That cannot be the pramana vakyam. Understanding clearly the difference between the arthavakyam and pramana vakyam. Karma yoga itself will give you moksha. Statements are there, such statements. Even when you study the teaching, the discourses of Swami Vivekananda, which is published, there he uses such statements. So Vivekananda uses Karma Yoga gives moksha. It means it praises Karma Yoga. We cannot take it literally. When one thing is praised, you praise it to that extent that without that itself is enough. All other things are put down. That is a particular nyaya, particular way of presenting the topic and praising and making you understand by praising it. That is the stauti, glorification. Stuti, glorification. Stauti, glorifies. So here also, praising of Karma Yoga, not to say that Karma Yoga gives moksha. No. The glorification of Karma Yoga is only for motivation. It is only an Arthavada Vakya, not Pramana Vakya. Only when you are motivated, you do karma. The motivation is required. Because Arjuna also, being the battlefield, is not motivated. So you have to motivate him. In fact, motivation is what we require, that inspiration. Therefore, you find such statements. That statements has to be analyzed and understood whether it is Arthavada or Pramana Vakya. So we have to use our buddhi to understand clearly what it is. If it is taken literally, then karma gives moksha. If karma gives moksha, karma being an action, and action being limited, how can limited can give you purnatvam? It being limited thing cannot give you purnatvam. So, and also if you accept this, then the Purva Pakshi, karmata will bring in his siddhanta, jnana karma samuchaya. So all this problem will come. If you say karma yogena mokshaha, if karma yoga is praised, it should be clearly understood it is only praising, arthavada, it is not pramana vakyam. That is why this line is very important. Prarochanartam, ruchi, which means taste, an interest, for creating the interest for the purpose of prarochanartaya, prarochanaya. Prarochanartam means prarochanaya, for the sake of creating the interest in the person. This buddhi, tam buddhim, karma yoga buddhim, stauti, praises. Who praises? Bhagavan Krishna praises. That we will see. The next shloka is going to come. What is shloka? He praises. Now, the next line. Buddhya yaya,
Yaya
yoga vishayaya,
yoga vishaya
taha,
yuktah
he partha,
he partha
karma bandham,
karma bandham
karma eva dharmakyaha bandhaha,
karma eva dharma dharmakyaha
karma bandhaha,
karma bandhaha
tam prahasyasi,
tam prahasyashi
ईश्वर प्रसाद निमित्त ज्ञान प्राप्तेः इति अभिप्रायः.
ईश्वर प्रसाद निमित्त
प्रसाद
ज्ञान
ज्ञान प्राप्त्या एव
इत्यभिप्रायः.
इत्यभिप्रायः.
Yes. So, buddhya, yaya buddhya, yoga vishaya yuktaha. Yoga Vishaya Yuktaha. He Partha. Buddhya, Yaya Buddhya, which is there in the shloka. Yaya Buddhya. Yaya Buddhya, that is Yoga Vishaya. That's yoga, Karma Yoga. With the help of this Yoga Vishaya, with the help of this knowledge. What knowledge? The knowledge of Karma Yoga. So, Yoga Vishaya. Yoga Vishaya is Yogaha Vishayaha Yasyaha Buddhehe. Yasyaha Buddhehe Taya Yoga Vishaya Buddhya. The Buddhya is qualified by this word Yoga Vishaya. Buddhya is in Tritiya Vibhakti, therefore Yoga Vishaya. Yoga is the subject matter of this buddhi, this jnanam. Therefore, yoga vishaya buddhihi, buddhya, taya, yaya. Buddhi refers to jnanam. Buddhi means knowledge. So with the help of this knowledge, what knowledge? This knowledge of karma yoga. The one who is endowed with this knowledge, yuktaha, endowed with this knowledge. Hey Partha, the one who is endowed with this knowledge and endowed with this knowledge, yoga vishaya yuktaha, the person endowed with this knowledge, what happens to him or what does he do? Rahasyasi. He gives up. What does he give up? Karma bandham. Karma bandha is the karma object. The sentence, it is the object. Karma karaka. So karma bandham, rahasyasi. He gives up all the karma bandha. What is karma bandha? Dharma dharma kyaha bandhaha karma bandhaha. Dharma adharma. Dharma adharma. What is dharma adharma? Dharma is punyam. Adharma is papam. So this karma phala, the karma phala of the karma, which manifests in the form of punya papa, dharma dharma kyaha, dharma adharma akyaha, dharma dharma kyaha, that is punya papa, known by the names dharma and adharma. Dharma is punya, adharma is papa, and punya papa are the karma phala, the results of karma. So punya papa kyaha bandhaha, that is karma bandha. Karma means this punya papa, and karma, this punya papa, they are the bandha. The punya papa, they are the bandha, because you are bound by this punya papa, the results of karma. The results of karma, which is in the form of sanchita, agami, prarabdha. All these are stored in our account. These are the karma phala, results of our karma. So these are the bandha. These are the cause for the bondage. So karma eva bandhaha, karma bandhaha. This punya papa alone are the bandha, the bondage, which binds you, which limits you to be an individual. Because you are after punya papa, the results of karma. The results of karma in the form of gaining pleasure and avoiding pain. Therefore, you are a limited individual. Being a limited individual, you are bound. Therefore, punya papa are the bondage. Tam prahasyasi. You give up. You give up. Endowed with this knowledge, you give up. You give up this karma. That is the karma which gives you punya papa, and therefore the cycle of the samsara. Therefore, this punya papa, which are the bonds, bandha, you give up. Ragasyasi. Ragasyasi means you will, not that you give up, it will go away. When you are endowed with this knowledge, this karma bandha will leave you. You will be released from these bonds. You will be released from these bonds. So you will be free from punya papa. No karma will have say over you anymore. When you are endowed with this knowledge. Yaya buddhya. Then Ishvara prasada nimitta jnana praptehe. And karma. Now the doubt may come. How can karma can release me from this punya papa? Because jnanam has not yet taken place. If karma, how can karma? It means karma is the means for moksha? No. Karma yoga will not directly remove punya papa. You will not be released from punya papa directly by karma yoga. But Ishvara prasada nimitta jnana praptehe. Bhashyakara adds very clearly, all these lines are very important. If these words are not there, then becomes a problem. Ishvara prasada nimitta jnana prapti. Ishvara prasada, the grace of Bhagavan. How do you gain the grace of Bhagavan? Ishvara prasada, Ishvara's grace. Ishvara prasada nimitta jnana prapti. So, Ishvara prasada is the grace of Bhagavan is the the result of Karma Yoga. You gain Ishvara Prasada, grace of Ishvara. And the grace of Ishvara is the nimitta for Jnana Prapti, for gaining knowledge. And that knowledge releases you from karma, from the shackles of Punya Papa. So, Ishvara Prasada is the nimitta, not Karma Yoga directly. Karma Yoga brings you the grace of Ishvara. Through Karma Yoga, you earn the grace of Ishvara. Ishvara Prasada nimitta. Ishvara Prasada, grace of Ishvara, is the nimitta, is the cause for gaining the jnanam. How can Ishvara Prasada can give me jnanam, if you ask? If you have the grace of Ishvara, then everything will fall in place. You will get the teaching. You will get the teacher and therefore the teaching. When you get the teacher, then you can listen. So Ishvara Praptya Shravana Prapti. Ishvara Prapti is Shravana Prapti. You can get the opportunity to listen. And Shravana Prapti is Jnana Prapti. By Shravana you gain Jnanam. Therefore, Ishvara Prasada Jnana Praptehe. It is a hetu, the cause for the removal of karma bandha. Therefore, hetu panchami, it is in panchami vibhakti. Praptehe. Panchami vibhakti, we know it is in the sense of the cause or the reason. So, because of this gaining of the knowledge, which comes through Ishvara Prasada, Ishvara Anugraha. Ishvara Anugraha is very important. Ishvara Anugraha Deva Pumsam Advaita Vasana. Advaita Vasana itself is possible only through the grace of Ishvara. So, only when Ishvara Anugraha is there, then Guru will come. Through the Guru, Shastram will come, and Shastram will bless you with knowledge, and knowledge will gives moksha. And once moksha being the sadhyam, and for that, all these are required. Karma Yoga is required. Karma Yogena Ishvara Prasada Prapti, Ishvara Prasada Praptya, Guru Prapti, Shravana Prapti, Jnana Prapti, and Jnanena Mokshaha. Iti Abhiprayaha. So this word is important. Ishvara Prasada Nimitta Jnana Praptehe Yuktaha Buddhya Yaya Yuktaha Karma Bandham Prakasyasi. Iti Abhiprayaha.
Can't hear him, right?
Intention. So, hello?
You still there?
What is that? Nagarattam ji asking me?
Everybody there?
Can you all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, Guruji.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So with this shloka is completed. The next shloka we will see the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnavidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi.
धन्यवाद
धन्यवाद गुरुजी.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी.
धन्यवाद जी.
धन्यवाद जी.